Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday, December 22nd. Well, winter officially began last night at 12:30 in the morning, and it was on a balmy note that we officially began astronomical winter. In fact, temperatures were in the 50s in most parts of the Mid-Atlantic region, even in the low 60s around the Washington, D.C. area late last evening. In fact, records were at least tied and maybe broken at BWI and Dulles airports late last evening as there was kind of a surge of warmth on gusty southwest winds ahead of a cold frontal passage that did sweep through overnight, and it's paving the way for some drying for this morning, but clouds will rapidly increase later on today, and a heavy rain event is coming for tonight throughout the Mid-Atlantic region from Washington up to New York City overnight tonight. Let's take a look at the latest surface map. First of all, there's a storm gathering some strength way down here in the Gulf. In fact, it's causing some strong thunderstorms right now. There's a tornado watch throughout much of Mississippi and Louisiana right in this region, and this surge of moisture is just poised to move right up along this frontal system, right in the direction of the Mid-Atlantic region, and rain should develop early tonight, become heavy around midnight, and well after midnight it'll still come down quite hard, at least an inch throughout much of the area, and this should occur all the way from Washington up through New York City. A major rain event for tonight. Of course, it's been a record-breaking wet year in many parts of the Mid-Atlantic region, and this will add at least another inch onto the scene. Well, farther to the west, we have strong high pressure, and it's a chilly high pressure building in from the northwest U.S. into the center part of the country, and it looks like that high will kind of dominate the weather picture here this weekend. It looked earlier like there might be another storm. In fact, there will be another low-pressure area, but it looks like it'll be only moving as far north as maybe the Carolina coast and then off the coast, probably keeping us chilly and dry for the upcoming holiday weekend. Here's the latest IR composite satellite loop, and again, severe thunderstorms are breaking out down here by the Gulf of Mexico where this storm is developing right now. In Louisiana, Mississippi, there's tornado watch right now. All of this moisture is headed right in our direction, and again, we'll have soaking rain from Washington up through New York City beginning early tonight and lasting all night, ending early tomorrow. As that storm pulls out, it'll pull in some colder air. There might even be a changeover to snow in places like upstate Pennsylvania and upstate New York later on tomorrow morning as this storm pulls out, and this storm will usher in some colder air, paving the way for a chilly but looks like a dry holiday weekend. Well, let's walk through the GFS for this upcoming heavy rain event. We'll show the maps for tonight, tomorrow morning, and tomorrow night. Here's this evening's computer forecast map from the GFS. A low is now moving over the Tennessee Valley from the Gulf states. It was in this region, headed right up over the Mid-Atlantic region for later on tonight. Notice it's not riding up the coast, so there is really no cold air ahead of it in the Mid-Atlantic region. Quite balmy for today. We'll be well up in the 50s to the low 60s in some parts ahead of this rain event, but it's headed right in our direction. Colder air will follow. Let's now jump ahead to tomorrow morning. Well, the storm's moving rather quickly by tomorrow morning. It's already off the New England coast, so in 24 hours it goes from around Louisiana area all the way up to the Tennessee Valley and then off the New England coast. And again, I expect about an inch of rain, perhaps a little bit more, a little bit less throughout the Mid-Atlantic region starting early tonight and continuing right into the early part of tomorrow. But then it dries out rather quickly. Let's now jump ahead to tomorrow night. Here's the computer map for Friday evening, and now it's dry, this high pressure system. First there was a high this morning right out over the Pacific Northwest. It kind of moves slowly to the east for the next 48 hours and moves into southeastern Canada by tomorrow night, and it looks like it'll dominate the weather scene here for much of the weekend with chilly conditions, certainly much colder than we've experienced the last 24 hours or so, and it looks like relatively dry. This next system, and there will be another system, looks like it'll head up towards around the Carolinas and then continue off in that direction, sparing the Mid-Atlantic of any potential Christmas Day snow, but of course we'll monitor the situation, see if there's any changes over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. So a heavy rain event coming tonight. It should end early tomorrow and pave the way for a chilly, dry weekend. That's it for now. I'm the SI meteorologist, Paul Dorian.